The universe has something important to tell you. Sometimes living with an open heart can feel more like a challenge than a blessing, but the universe wants you to know that there is a deeper reason for this sensitivity you carry. This message is for those who feel too much, for those who notice what was not said, for those who walk through life with an invisible radar, for what others ignore. Now is the time to listen carefully. The universe is about to remind you who you really are. Something is starting to become clear to the people around you. For a long time, you went unnoticed or perhaps misunderstood. His way of being, his way of seeing the world, his way of feeling, all of this seems strange or exaggerated to those who only live on the surface. But now something has changed. Anyone who has crossed your path begins to realize that there is something about you that is not common. There is a different frequency vibrating in your presence, and it can no longer be ignored. You may not even be aware of it, but there are those who think of you with silent admiration. People who, after getting to know you, began to reflect on the way you deliver, how you feel and how you communicate. The universe wants you to know that this is not a coincidence. You are raised with a rare type of empathy, something that manifests itself in your gaze, in your gestures, in the silence between words. This gift, for a long time, may have been confused with weakness, including by you. But the truth is that this is its greatest power. This sensitivity is not a detail of your personality. She is the foundation of everything you came here to do. It allows you to capture what most people miss. You feel when something is wrong, even if everything seems normal. You know when a smile is forced, when absence weighs more than presence, and that, as tiring as it may be at times, is part of its purpose. You are not here to be like everyone else, you are here to be exactly as you are, and that takes courage. For a long time, you tried to adapt, hide, silence this side of yourself, but the more you tried to mold yourself to other people's expectations, the more you felt that something inside you was lost. And the universe saw all of this, saw your attempts to fit in where there was no room for your authenticity. He saw your struggle to be understood, your pain in the face of other people's judgment, your loneliness in moments when no one seemed to grasp the depth of what you were experiencing. And now, finally, the time has come to understand. You were never the problem, you were the exception. What once seemed like a burden is beginning to reveal itself as your greatest virtue. And it's no coincidence that this is happening now. The universe is leading you to a moment where you will need to fully trust this ability to feel. It is this sensitivity that will protect you from wrong paths, from empty connections, from environments that drain your energy. And it is also what will bring you closer to people who truly resonate with who you are. In fact, you may have noticed a certain distance from some people. It may seem that as you connect more with yourself, certain bonds begin to dissolve. But it's not rejection, it's alignment. Not everyone can handle the depth you carry. Not everyone is ready to be truly seen. There are those who are frightened by the fact that you realize what was not even said. There are those who fear its presence, because it reflects truths that they themselves avoid seeing. Yet you continue. You continue to feel, listen with your body, intuit with your heart, capturing signals that no one else notices. And even when it all seems too much, when you just want to turn off this intense connection with the world, the universe comes and reminds you. You were not made to live in the shallows. You came to dive. This profound way of existing can make you feel out of place, but it is also what transforms your relationships into something meaningful. It's no wonder that after you pass, your energy remains. You leave marks even without meaning to. You are remembered for small gestures, for words said at the right time, for looks that said more than any speech. The universe wants you to understand. Your gift is not common and was not given to you by chance. There is something that only those who feel deeply can understand. Silence has a language of its own. And you, who were shaped with this rare sensitivity, learn to listen to it. For many people, silence is discomfort, absence, emptiness. But for you, it is full of nuances. He speaks, reveals, communicates. And that is precisely why in many moments you choose to remain silent instead of explaining, because you feel that words often cannot keep up with the depth of what lives inside you. This skill sets you apart. It allows you to decipher gestures, pauses, tones of voice. You pick up on what is not said, you feel the energy behind the intentions. And even though this may seem like a magical gift to some, for you it is simply the natural way of existing. The universe wants you to understand that this is a precious part of who you are. Not an anomaly, not an exaggeration, but a refined talent, shaped with intention. Because of this, you have also learned to discern what comes to you with truth and what comes to you disguised. And even without wanting to, this gift put him in difficult situations. There are those who have avoided you because they felt naked before your gaze. To anyone who lied in an attempt to hide what you had already realized. To those who have walked away because they could not bear the weight of their own conscience reflected in your presence. And all of this may have left its mark. It may have made you wonder if there is something wrong with feeling so much. It may have generated doubts, guilt, insecurity. Because at many times you have taken responsibility for failed connections, believing that perhaps you were expecting too much. But the universe wants you to know. You never asked for too much, you just offered in depth, and not everyone is ready for that. Your body tells you. It reacts even when your mind tries to rationalize. There are people, places, situations that cause you physical discomfort. It's not drama, it's not exaggeration. It's your entire system trying to protect you. Because your sensitivity is not just in your heart. It inhabits your every cell. And the more you deny this, the more you lose alignment with your own essence. There is an innate wisdom within you that others may not understand. You don't need proof. You feel when something is right or wrong. It decides based on a clarity that cannot be explained, but is imposed. This confuses those who live only in logic. This scares those who need external guarantees. But for you, the truth pulses from within, and that changes everything. Some people around you began to notice this, perhaps discreetly, perhaps with surprise. They are seeing that the sensitivity they previously considered a weakness is, in fact, your greatest strength. They are beginning to understand that you see beyond words, beyond masks, beyond appearances. And even if they don't yet know how to name this quality, they feel that there is something in you that is not easily found. And this perception can cause two reactions, fascination or fear. Some people will be attracted to your clarity, your presence, the way you truly see them. Others will move away, not because of rejection, but because they don't know how to sustain themselves in the face of your intensity. And none of these reactions are your fault. The universe wants you to remember this. You do not exist to be accepted by everyone, but to touch those who are ready to be touched. Even with all this sensitivity, you may still question whether you are on the right path. There may be days when you wish you didn't feel so much, when you wish you were lighter, more carefree, more superficial, as most people seem to be. But it is in these moments that the universe invites you to remember. You were not created to be the majority. You were specifically shaped to protect, to inspire, to transform. Your empathy, your listening, your silence full of meaning. All of this is part of a sacred language. It is through it that you recognize what is true. It is with her that you build real bonds. And it is through it that the universe speaks to you. Don't ignore the signs, don't minimize your perception, because even though it may seem difficult to live like this at times, this is exactly how you transform the world around you. As you recognize and accept your sensitivity as a strength, the universe begins to show you something even deeper. With this gift comes a responsibility, not just any responsibility, but one that can only be entrusted to those who have the courage to feel. Living with your heart exposed is not an easy task. It means being vulnerable all the time. It is capturing what many ignore. It's navigating emotional territories that most people would rather not enter. And yet this is the path that has been laid out for you. You carry a conscience that bothers the distracted. Your presence demands truth. Even without saying anything, you invite others to look inside, and that can be disconcerting. To those who confuse your clarity with arrogance, your intuition with judgment, your firmness with coldness, but those who see you with clear eyes understand. You only react to the vibration of what is real. You don't live by appearances. And the universe honors that. In times when you have felt isolated, disconnected, or out of place, you may have thought you should change, fit in, turn down the volume of your perception. But all of this would be betraying your essence, because you are not here to mold yourself to the world. You are here to shape your own reality, based on the inner truth you carry. This truth, in fact, does not depend on external validation. It does not need proof or explanations. You feel it and that's enough, but still, you often question yourself. Why? Because the world around you is noisy. It tries to convince you that you are exaggerating, that you are imagining things, that you need more data before making a decision. But deep down you already know, you've always known, and now it's time to trust yourself more. The universe is preparing you for a new cycle, a time when your sensitivity will be even more necessary, but also more challenged. You may come across relationships that require more discernment, situations in which you will need to act firmly, even if it hurts, decisions that will test how much you really respect yourself. And so, it's important to remember, being kind doesn't mean putting yourself down. Being empathetic is not being submissive. Feeling everything doesn't force you to accept everything. You were designed with an internal alert system that works precisely. When something or someone is not aligned with what is healthy for you, your body lets you know, your soul feels it. Don't ignore this. Don't rationalize what your intuition has already rejected. The universe didn't give you this sensitivity so that you could ignore it. It gave it to you so that you could use it as a guide. And the more you trust it, the clearer your route becomes. This gift also affects how you love. You don't love halfway. When you are present in your entirety. When you care, you truly care. Your delivery is intense, profound, transformative. And that's why anyone who has been touched by your presence has a hard time forgetting. Your energy is not easily extinguished. It remains, it leaves its mark. And even though some only realize it when you walk away, the impact remains etched on them. Maybe you've heard that you're too much, too sensitive, too intense, too deep. Maybe you've felt like you need to hide certain parts of yourself in order to be accepted. But the universe wants to remind you of something essential. You are not here to fit into anyone's mold. You are here to be whole, to show, through your way of existing, that feeling is a form of wisdom. There is a divine force in everything you have experienced, even in the pain, in the moments of exclusion, in the silences that hurt. All of this served to refine you, to hone your perception, to strengthen what previously seemed vulnerable. And now, as you look back, you begin to see more clearly. There was purpose in every experience. And that purpose is yourself, your construction, your truth, your light. The universe has been following your steps carefully, not because you are fragile, but because you are essential. Your way of perceiving the world, your way of connecting, your ability to feel. This is all part of a bigger plan. You are like a rare frequency that resonates in places where there is confusion bringing clarity, where there is hardness bringing tenderness, where there is chaos bringing presence. Accepting this mission is recognizing that your role goes beyond what meets the eye. And even though it may feel lonely at times, the universe has your back. You were never alone. Have you ever noticed how even before you understand with your mind, your body already knows? Sometimes it's a chill in your stomach, a tension in your shoulders, a sigh that comes without warning. Other times it is a silent certainty. A "don't go" or "don't stay" that seems to come out of nowhere. But it's not nothing. It's your intuition speaking, and it has been speaking to you forever. The universe wants you to recognize this clearly. Your intuition is not a tool to be used once in a while. It is the compass that was given to you to walk safely in a world where not everything is what it seems. On many occasions, your intuition has saved you from difficult situations, even when you didn't understand why. It pushed away people who were not aligned with your well-being. It revealed truths that no one said and pointed directions when everything around seemed confusing. This gift, however, requires maturity. It comes not only to protect you, but also to teach you how to choose. It won't always be comfortable to follow your intuition, because it may ask you to leave places where you'd like to stay. It can guide you away from people you still care about. It can lead you down unknown paths, where control is no longer in your hands. And that's where trust comes in. You don't need to know all the reasons, you just need to respect what you feel. If there is something that worries you, that leaves you without peace, that weighs more than it should, stop. Listen. Do not rationalize what your soul has already recognized. The universe doesn't send warnings for nothing. This is where many people get lost, trying to force permanence where there is no longer any truth. Trying to convince the heart to ignore what the eyes do not see, but the body feels. But you weren't made to ignore the signs. You were made to translate them, interpret them, and act on them. And the more you align with that, the stronger you become. In this process, you may feel like you are distancing yourself from many. It's natural. Not everyone can walk alongside someone who sees and feels so much. There are those who prefer to remain in the comfort of denial, in constant distraction, in the superficiality of appearances, but you know that there is no room for you there. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. And conscience always asks for renunciations. Still, even with everything you felt, there are times when you doubt yourself. This happens especially when you are surrounded by voices that try to invalidate your perception, when they tell you that you are imagining things, when they accuse you of being dramatic, too sensitive, complicated. But the universe now invites you to remember. How many times have you been right, even when no one believed you? How many times has what you felt proved true after a while? These experiences were not in vain, they were training. Each of them served to further sharpen your sensitivity. And today you no longer need external evidence. You can simply know, you can simply feel, and that in itself is enough. Many people around you realize this, even if they don't say it. They know that you see what is hidden, they know that your gaze goes through layers, and even when they try to hide it, you realize. This can generate discomfort, distance, or, in some cases, even silent admiration, because the truth is that you represent something rare, a presence that does not pretend, that does not hide, that does not ignore what is there, even when it is difficult to face. This quality also makes you a beacon for others. Often, without knowing it, you inspire people just by existing the way you do. Your way of listening, of welcoming, of speaking only when you have something true to say, all of this makes a difference. And even if you don't receive immediate recognition, the seed of your energy remains wherever you go. It is no wonder that after your presence, some environments seem empty. Some people miss you without knowing why. It's just that you carry something that cannot be replicated, real presence, wholeness, someone who connects deeply and who is not afraid to see or be seen. And that is increasingly rare today. That's why the universe reminds you, what you feel is true. What you intuit, trust it. Even when it's challenging, even when no one else understands, you are increasingly ready to live guided from within. There is a reason for everything you carry. Every sensation that passes through you, every perception that manifests itself without logical explanation. Every time the world seems to touch you more intensely than others, none of this is excess or deviation. It's direction. It's construction. It's the universe reminding you all the time that you were created to feel. And feeling for you is living. But living with such an open heart also has a cost. You know the beauty of love, but you've also felt the pain of abandonment. You know what it's like to create deep bonds, and you also know what it's like to watch those bonds fall apart silently and cruelly. Still, you continue to love, trust, and welcome, because there is no other way to exist for those whose soul is truly made this way. The intensity with which you live and the emotions may have made you want to anesthetize yourself at times, to be like those who remain indifferent, who protect themselves from pain by staying away from the depths. But even in those moments of exhaustion, you never really managed to erase what you felt. And the reason is simple: it is not possible to silence what is part of your essence. The universe created you with a heart that feels beyond, because it knew the world needed people like you. People who see beyond appearances, who listen beyond words, who perceive the pain that no one confesses, the truth that no one assumes, the love that no one dares to show. And this, as difficult as it may seem, is a gift, a sacred gift. And that's why you also attract attention. Some people are drawn to the light you carry, but cannot hold it. Others approach you wanting to absorb a little of your depth, without being prepared to dive in with you. And there are still those who only recognize the value of your presence when you are no longer around. This is all part of the journey, not as punishment, but as revelation. The universe did not give you this gift so that you could be everything to everyone. It gave you this sensitivity so that you could learn over time to choose where to place your energy, to decide clearly who deserves access to your truth, to understand that your presence is rare and, for that very reason, needs to be protected. The truth is that you have already impacted more lives than you can imagine, even in silence, even without realizing it. Your energy has left traces in hearts that may never say out loud how much they were touched by you. But the universe saw and continues to see every gesture of care, every choice of integrity, every time you stayed true to what you felt, even when it was easier to give in to doubt. And if today you feel that all of this was too much, that you lacked rewards or reciprocity, that life did not give back to you in the same measure, the universe asks you for patience, because there is a right time for everything. And right now, you're closer than ever to understanding why you had to go through what you went through. Every pain had a purpose. Every absence taught you something essential. And every connection, however brief, prepared you for what was coming. You are not here to live half-heartedly, you are here to live everything, with intensity, with dedication, with truth, and this will inevitably make you stand out. It will make your presence remembered, it will make your absence felt, and it will make it clear to everyone who has the privilege of knowing you that you are different, because you don't just live, you feel. And to feel is to truly live. The universe wants you to embrace this, to no longer doubt, to allow yourself to be exactly as you are, without fear, without guilt, without shame. Because you are needed, you are rare, and you are exactly where you are supposed to be. The universe created you with a heart capable of touching the invisible. And no matter how difficult the path has been to get here, you are prepared to live with purpose, love, and clarity. Your sensitivity is the bridge between what is superficial and what is eternal. Embrace your essence, protect your peace, and move forward, because there is still so much to live and feel.